I'm your host, Jay, with Guilty of Crime. And I'm back. I just wanted to come on and say hello to the people that have been asking, am I coming back? Am I going to stream live? I didn't. We drove back yesterday, so we didn't get back until like 10 o'clock last night, guys. And then today, I had to come in the office and take care of some things. I'm really technically off until Thursday. I was going to go back to work on Thursday, but you know, just stopping in to say hi and looking at the Emmanuel Haro case is just it's disgusting, guys. I can't understand what happened here. I am definitely glad that Rebecca Haro finally admitted to what she's done, but the question is, where is baby Emmanuel? And did Rebecca get enough time? I'm waiting for y'all to come in. It's just a pop up live. Some people are just getting back from Vegas. Some people are on who knows what other stream, but let me know when you come in. I see a couple thumbs up. I mean, I can start with this here. So, Emmanuel Haro, you guys know back in August 14th of 2025, Rebecca told authorities that she was changing the baby's diaper outside of Big Five of Yucaipa, right, California, and someone just said "Hola," knocked her unconscious, and there you go, baby Emmanuel just disappears into thin air. Right when she woke up, Emmanuel was gone. Now the story triggered a massive search effort from public. Lots of YouTubers, right? Everybody was going to the Emmanuel Haro site area. We saw Emmanuel taking well, I'm not Emmanuel. We saw Jake doing taking the police out to find Emmanuel. Did we ever find Emmanuel? No, we haven't. So today I wanted to pop on and say hello. I'm back from Las Vegas, but I am not officially back to work. But you guys know I've been running this company for 19 years in October, and so gotta I can't help but go into work and make sure things are smooth and then to say hello to you. So let me say hello. It's for me to read anymore. I got Sherry here. Hello. Why should she did get a plea deal, Mary? That's the problem. What's up, Mystic Artistry? How you doing? Good to see you. Nana Rocks, Cool and Chris. You're on your break. Say hello. I know. So listen, guys. This is so not okay. And hey, Sherry, good to see you. Sherry Lawrence, MP Daughtry, Cool and Chris, anybody that's rolling in. I wanted to really say thank you for the support. First of all, for helping get us to Vegas, right? A lot of you guys donated to the Buy Me a Coffee Fund, which thank you. Guys, gas was $200 every time we stopped. So I think and it's still not that bad. I think gas costed about 800 to $1,000 to drive to Vegas and back in an RV. So great. We had a fantastic time. What's up, my girl Tiff? How you doing? Good to see you. No shoot vaccine. Now, I'm over here. I'm at work doing my thing. I was only going to come in for a few minutes. I've been here for a few hours and I'm listening to the true crime stuff, guys. And I'm wondering what you all are thinking about this case. I mean, what do you think about that? The body's still missing, guys. Rebecca lied to the authorities numerous times, and yet within days, of course, the law enforcement found major inconsistencies. Right, we understand that. We get the inconsistencies, and let's see. So August 14th. That's pretty quick, guys. By August 22nd, they were already arrested. So just not even 12 days later, these people are arrested. Jake Haro should have not even been out. Now, let me take a look for you because I want to look at Rebecca Haro's plea deal, okay? Rebecca Haro, charges and plea deal, and I'm gonna break that down for you. And just wait until a couple more people come in. How you doing, guys? You guys know it's free to hit that like button, subscribe, get yourself a membership, super chat, super sticker. Even if you're on the replay or rewatch crew, that'll be awesome. No, it's just what it is, man. I mean, yeah, $7 a gallon in Cali, but we drove from Cali to Vegas. Every time you stop, it's $200. So it was 800 to 1,000, Linda. It's always $200. I wish they had like a machine in the RV, like when you're gambling, so you can just pop those hundreds in. But yeah, no, I mean we're in the RV. 800 to $1,000 to drive there and have all your stuff is way better than having to fly. You can't check in your things. You don't have your clothes. You don't have a bathroom. You can't make yourself dinner while you're driving. You know what I'm saying? Cool and Chris. That's why I want to know where is the baby. I want to know where the baby is too, and how Rebecca Haro got such a light plea deal. Does anyone know about the plea deal? Hello, what's up, Holly? Good to see you. I was kind of waiting for a few more people to come in because I'm not going live at 4 o'clock today, and I don't know if I'm going live tomorrow either. I'm still just, I'm not even supposed to be at work today, but you know how that goes, guys. I thought about flying. It's a 65-mile drive to the nearest airport. Sucks. Amtrak would take it. Now, listen, what's up, Velvet Unicorn, Norma, Holly? Thank you for coming. Cool and Chris again saying hi to Tiff. Here's the deal though. We had 4 people with us. If you're gonna fly to Las Vegas and back, I don't know how much each ticket costs. Maybe 500-600 bucks a ticket, and then you still gotta pay $300 to $500 a night for a nice room. I think we did great. It was so awesome, so awesome to meet so many of you. I got to meet a lot of the creators. Actually, had discussions, straight up a full on discussion with Vinnie Politan about the Madeline Soto case. I loved that. He's such an awesome, like, captivating person. You just want to keep listening to him. But you guys can see the pictures. You guys see the pictures, and it was awesome. And I didn't just get pictures with these people. I went up to them. I had conversations. We talked about collaborating. My brain, that's how my brain works, right? So yeah, it was fun, man. Literally everybody just was so cool. It was like I already knew, like I got to meet Holly. I got to meet Synth and Foxy in person, and a few other you crime crew people. I gave out some of my books. There's a lot of people that I don't know what they look like, but they came up to me and knew what I looked like. So that being said, that was awesome. Oh man, it was awesome to talk to Cody from Court TV. He did the boots on the ground in the Madeline Soto case. Um, no, Lady for Justice. We drove there and back. So people were asking me if I was going live yesterday, but I didn't make it home, guys, until about 10 o'clock last night. By the time we got in the door and everything and showered, it was 11 o'clock, and then watched a movie till 1, 2 in the morning. Now I'm here in my office, but yeah, I'm in the office and I'm looking at this Rebecca Haro case, and I'm like, is that really justice, guys? And do I want to do a full episode? I'm back in California, Lady for Justice. I feel like there's not a lot of people on here right now, and I don't know if it's because of the time or. But anyway, let's talk about this real quick. Here's what I'm going to do, guys. I labeled this Rebecca Haro, right? Took a plea deal. Is this justice? So let me break this down for you a bit. I'll show it to you and then just kind of break it down. And then I'll let you all go. You guys hitting the like and sharing is awesome. So, guys, Rebecca Haro took a plea deal. Now, you might have seen her crying, her fake tears. There was not a drop of tear. She was just making, what do you guys call that? Pochetos? She made pochetos the entire time. So, she got involuntary manslaughter, guys. She got felony child abuse slash endangerment and accessory to murder after the fact. She had previously maintained her innocence and Jake's for months and months and months. Now, let me break the sentencing down to you so that you're understanding it because I didn't get it. I definitely, certainly was like, what in the hell? Right. Not at all. Right. She pled guilty. We still don't have the baby. And she still didn't tell us what she wanted. Yeah, I'm not going live today like a regular. I'm just talking to you guys. Now listen, guys, her entire sentence was 12 years and 8 months in a California state prison. All right. Now, in California, when you commit a crime that is a harmful or dangerous act, you have to do 85%. So, even 12 years and 8 months with any time that she's served in there, she's not going to take, she'll be out in 8 years, 9 years tops. All right. Now, look at the sentence reflects her failure to protect Emmanuel, her role in concealing the crime, her participation in the false kidnapping narrative, and the plea agreement that was negotiated with Riverside County prosecutors. She was sentenced immediately after the plea deal, and guys, she was facing the same amount of time that Jake was. She was facing 30 plus years, and she didn't get that. Should have been no deal unless we have a man. But I think they just wanted her. That I don't think they wanted to go to trial. And I agree because look at what Jake Haro got. Let me turn this around for you guys. So she got 12 years, 8 months, and then you can see the breakdown, which I just gave you, the different breakdowns. Now, Jake Haro, guys, he got second degree murder. He got child assault resulting in death and filing a false report. Now, he got 32 years to life, but you can't say that was for the prior bad acts. You know why? Because he did everything but beat his his prior baby to death, right? He took everything from that baby but her life. Are you guys here? I'm trying to see chat, but maybe I should have went on the computer and streamed. Anyway, so Jake got second degree murder versus what Rebecca got. Rebecca got involuntary manslaughter and Jake got second degree murder. All right? I still don't feel like there's justice. But I don't think Jake should have even been out. I'm watching cases right now where people have shaken baby syndrome at 10 months. They've shaken their baby to death and they're facing 20 years. And this guy, Jake Haro, gets out in what he didn't do any time, right? He did maybe a year, maybe some kind of parole or like maybe he was on monitor or something. All right, Linda says without the medical care, the other baby would have not survived. Yeah, but that's the problem, Linda Glover. That poor baby survived, and although we all want our children to survive, do you see what kind of life she has? She has 4% of her brain capacity. She can only use 4%, and I'm not talking about like us that only use 10%. I'm talking about straight up. She can't eat, she can't think, she can't talk, she can't walk, she can barely move. He beat her to almost death. He took everything from her but her life and breathing, right? So that bothers me a lot. Hey Jay, late because I wasn't expecting this either. I just didn't want to individually and reply to everybody when I'm coming back and stuff, you know? And I didn't want to be gone all week and you guys be like, "What the hell happened, Jay?" There's no justice for that baby. He wasn't found. I know. You guys do. I have a real question for you though. Do you think that the reason that he wasn't found was because they didn't want him found, or because by the time Jake Haro went out there to go show law enforcement where the baby was, um, the baby was gone. Maybe the animals took him. He was small, guys. He was small. So I'm wondering, did they really pull the perfect crime with no body? Or did they really put the body where Jake thinks the body was and the baby got taken away? Or maybe someone accidentally threw him away in the trash and made it to the, um, made it to the actual trash site, the dump site. They didn't want him found. Yeah, I agree they didn't, but it's interesting because yeah, the landfill is what I'm guessing. But Jake Haro didn't know when he was in the cell. He confessed basically to killing Emmanuel, and he talked about where Emmanuel was. He didn't know it was an undercover officer that was in his cell. So I am wondering, do you think that he really thought that's where, or he remembered where the baby was, or he just led them on a wild goose chase? I wonder. Yay! Good job, Synth. I'm glad you're back and safe. Love you too, Maggie. Cheeky, what's up? Roddy Da. You gotta what love like what is Roddy Da doing today? Roddy Da, you're 48 and getting circumcised. What are you doing today in chat for Emmanuel Haro? Like for real, for real? Anyway. All right, so quickly guys, so he got, much different charges. And Emmanuel Haro, they do say, even though they didn't find his body, they maintain that he died from prolonged abuse, guys, according to the medical experts. Rebecca Haro did not physically harm him, is what they're saying, but failed to intervene. Now, that's her story, and that pisses me off as well. She pleaded guilty to very, very reduced charges, guys, and received 12 years and 8 months. All right. Emmanuel's remains still have not been found. And Jake got 32 to life, and Rebecca got 12 years and 8 months. As you can see, he got second degree murder, child assault resulting in death, filing a false report, and she got involuntary manslaughter, felony child abuse, child endangerment, and accessory to murder after the fact. So it's interesting. I wonder what she would have been convicted of had she um, went to trial. I think we're in a Sarah Boone predicament here. That had she gone to trial, that she might end up have just getting, she might end up getting 30 years without parole. I'm going to put this on for a second. I want you guys to see this. I'm not going to stay too long, but.
It was a very emotional day inside that courtroom. But again, Rebecca Haro had her preliminary hearing scheduled today if her case would move forward to trial. But that all changed when a plea agreement was entered. Now, as you mentioned, Haro pled guilty today to several counts, including child endangerment, involuntary manslaughter, and being accessory to murder. Now, I want to show you some video here because we've been following this case since the beginning here. Now, overall, her sentence will be nearly 13 years in prison, while her husband, Jake Haro, continues to serve life in prison after he admitted to the crime and was sentenced last fall. Now, again, this case began last year on August 14th when the boy's parents filed a report that 7-month-old Emmanuel had been taken from a shopping center in Yucaipa. Back then, the father asking for the community's help to help find his son. 1 week later, sheriff's deputies arrested both Jake and Rebecca Haro at their Cabazon home after investigators say there were inconsistencies in their statements. Now, last fall, the boy's father was sentenced to life after he admitted to the murder, but investigators have not yet found his remains.
Rebecca Haro is going to prison because she failed as a mother. She may not have put her hands on Emmanuel, but she knew that Jake was, and she had a responsibility to intervene, and she chose repeatedly not to. The law holds parents, all of them, responsible. She failed, and she deserves to be where she is today.
And Annabelle, this morning, Rebecca Haro it was a very emotional day, as I mentioned, inside that courtroom. She was crying at times while she pled guilty in court, which now waives her right to trial, while several of her family members, including the boy's grandmother, were present inside that courtroom. Now, prosecutors said while they have no evidence the mother harmed the son, she did not intervene, and it was her responsibility, they say, as a mother. But again, Rebecca Haro pled guilty to several counts, including involuntary manslaughter.
All right, guys, I'm not sure if you can hear me with this just because my headphones are off and it might be echoing. Hold on 1 second. 1 second, guys. Let's do this. Back on here. All right, let's see if I got these hooked up. I don't know. Okay. Let me know if you can hear me on my headphones. Panda Ann says what's really messed up is that they hadn't reported him missing. I think he would still be free. It's their paranoia. Well, here's the thing. Yeah, hashtag arrest Jen Soto. You guys can hear me okay? Jen Soto was protected by her mom. Her name was never said in the plea deal. That was a setup. Listen, guys, we talked about this at CrimeCon. It was really nice to be able to talk about this, and particularly with Vinny, because obviously he covered the case a lot, right? Hey, what's up, Auntie Ree, Lady for Justice? How you doing? So Vinny covered it a lot. So one of the first things I asked him was, "What do you think about the Jen Soto case? You know, do you think she's ever going to be prosecuted for anything or brought to trial? Probably not." But he said that the most thing that stood out, we started talking about the most thing that stood out that gives you the indication that Jen Soto not only knew or maybe she knew but not didn't see them, or she suspected, but she wasn't worried about her daughter. She wasn't worried about Madeline Soto. She wasn't worried about her getting raped. She was worried about if Stefan was going to leave her for Maddie. That's what she was worried about. Not the sake of Maddie and the fact that she was being raped since she was 6, 7 years old and groomed, and at the point that Maddie died, that I believe that she thought she was in love with Stefan because that was the only thing she knew. All right. Oh God, these people. Come on, guys. It's all good. All right. So listen, Lady for Justice got your book. It's hilarious, and I can relate to some of it. Nice. I gave a few books out and signed them at CrimeCon. So, what's up, Dr. Laura? Good to see you. So, look, this lady just cried, cried, but there was no tears, guys. I'm gonna show you. Let me put this on. I don't know if you can hear it. Let me know if you can hear it through here. Hold on. It's being wonky. What's up, y'all? Good to see you. Who was at CrimeCon? Anyone? Well, this will be the rewatch crew. Did any of you guys see us in the taxi cab doing the slot machines? I think people enjoyed the taxi cab confessions that we did. That was fun. All right, so listen, I don't know if you guys watched this at all, but the whole time this is what she looked like. Does anybody see tears? I don't know. Do you guys see tears? Come on, guys, hit that like button. I've got almost 35,000 people. I got almost 35,000 subscribers, and I know I'm kicked out of the algorithm because I haven't been on for like a week. All right, let me make sure you guys are still there okay, you did a thumbs up. Thank you. All right. Look at that. No tears at all. Does anyone see tears there? Anyone? Anyone? Let's see.
Like you're going to be pleading to a one count of child endangerment with a violation of great bodily injury. Also, another count of involuntary manslaughter.
Hold on, sorry. See if you guys can hear it or not. Oh, where'd it go? She said, yes.
Together, those counts carry a total sentence under your agreement with the people of 12 years and 8 months.
12 years and
In
8
exchange,
months.
Among other things, the people will be dismissing the other counts against you, which includes the count for murder. I know those are not all of the details of your agreement with them, but are those the general, is that your general understanding of your agreement with them?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So I have a document here. It has some initials on the right side, as well as the back, and some signatures. Are these your initials and signatures?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you understand that under that this agreement goes through some of the rights and consequences of you pleading guilty today. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
One
She's not even crying.
is your right to have a trial, where 12 jurors will have to agree beyond a reasonable doubt that the people have satisfied the burden of proof. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
And so by agreeing to plead guilty, there's going to be no trial. You waive that right to have a trial by jury, and instead you'll be sentenced by the court. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
I mean, do you hear her? I mean, you guys, it's just as fake as it was when she gave the story about Ola and then her baby disappeared. Hey, Mimi or Mimi, it doesn't even seem like she's crying for herself, guys. There's not a drop on her eye. I'm looking at my computer screen, and most computer screens are like 1080p. You can see there's not a drop. But we do need justice for Emmanuel. I agree. And we don't have him. And I don't think we're ever going to. What's up, Emily Jane? Good to see you. Justice for Emmanuel. Yeah, watch. Check this out. This has been the whole time. Like, the whole time that you watch her, there's not a drop there. She's just making pochetos for herself, guys. Let's see. Well, there's not a lot of people in here, a lot of interaction. I'm going to play this for a second and then I'm gonna bounce, guys, but I made it back safe.
Before signing and initialing this form, did you have a chance to go through all of the rights on that form?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you have a chance to discuss everything with your attorney?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you understand that besides the right that you're giving up to have a trial, one of some of the other rights that you'll be giving up is if you're not a United States citizen, if you plead guilty, your conviction will almost certainly have an impact on your ability to remain in this country. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you understand
wow.
that?
So she obviously can't have guns or weapons, and it says, if she does something else, she's not going to be able to stay in the country. Bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. What's up, Flojo? Good to see you, buddy. Jay Mods in chat. You're on early. How was CrimeCon? Looked like lots of fun. You know what? It really was a lot of fun. I wasn't coming back or anything until Thursday. But I've been running this company 19 years in October, and I'm right down the street. We bought the office down the street from where I live, so I can't help it but to come in. And then also I'm seeing this stuff, I'm seeing all these cases pass by. The Carmelo Anthony case is off the hook. That started, and there's already a bunch of just racist things going on behind the scenes. I want to cover that. I want to cover a lot of things, but Emmanuel Haro, we've been covering since day one, and I want to know, is there justice? But I also just wanted to make sure that my voice came across to you guys, and I wanted to let you know that I'm thinking about Emmanuel Haro. I'm not going to let that go. And I wanted to wrap up the fact that may there be justice for him. Jake Haro got 32 years to life, and Rebecca Haro got 12 years and 8 months with 85%. It's 85% of the time, and I don't think that she's going to be a Mackenzie Shirilla. I think she's going to be out in 8 years, 9 years, tops. Oh, I did? Awesome, Cheeky. What's up, Flo Joe? I just learned about Carmelo Austin. Dude, we covered that. I forgot that I had even covered it. We did cover that. Racism came into it immediately. The parents started collecting a GoFundMe. That was questionable. They were acting like rock stars, and they're back at it again. They're back at it. They're outside at the trial. The trial started. Jury's picked. I think it's day one or day two. And there are Carmelo Anthony supporters that are literally saying that it was self-defense. Guys, that's never gonna fly. Right? That's not gonna fly. Yes, thank you, my girl Tiff. My girl Tiff says keep an eye on Ghost for updates. What's up, Clementine? I always know how to shake you out of the bushes. We'll have to go back. Jury was tampered. You thinking jury tampering? Oh yeah, jury tampering, politics, race, all of that stuff. I'm not gonna start getting into that case right now, but I do want you to realize what we're looking at here and the cases that are coming up. Let me see. Let me pull up Ghost because that's what I was doing, guys. I was going through Ghost and I was like, okay, what cases do we need to cover here? So obviously, this is the latest, June 2nd, which is today. Heavy media blackout, Carmelo Anthony murder trial. And you can see all the things here that we're working on. And thank you, Tiff. In Texas, children found starved, living filth with garbage, flies, and maggots, right? And then day one was on June 1st, and the Carmelo Anthony jury selection began. That's what Ghost is, guys. If any of you guys are like, what are you talking about, Ghost? That's what Ghost is, my friends. It's our oh, look at a new one. Missing child alert, Tyler Hall of Clarksville, Tennessee. So, I mean, yeah, I hop onto Ghost, which you guys is completely free. Go to ghost.org and look up guilty of crime, and you'll see the stuff we're looking at and working on. Yeah, no, I know. I realize everything just happened. I'm just late to the game and I'm kind of going over stuff. Clementine, I'm here out of the bushes for a second. Don't wait a minute. Let me turn myself back around for that. May 123. Absolutely, I don't think Carmelo's innocent one bit. That's what I just said. I said there's no way anybody's going to believe that it was self-defense. Right? The Carmelo Anthony thing it irritates me, and if you go back and you look at my playlist and you look at the way I covered the Carmelo Anthony case, you will understand that that was not self-defense in my opinion. It was absolutely unwarranted. It was absolutely correct to tell somebody, hey, you can't sit in the bleachers with us. This is our team. You don't stab somebody when you don't bring a knife to a gunfight, right? Or a fist fight. All right. So, yes, another missing child, but it's on Ghost. If you go on to, hold on, if you go on to the Ghost right here, guilty of crime dot ghost. If Tiff wants to drop a chat, she can. That's just another thing that, obviously more cases. And then here we're looking at the heavy media blackout. And I absolutely, again, go sign up for Ghost if you want to see what I'm thinking. Race, politics, jury tampering. What's next in this case? I absolutely believe that Carmelo Anthony should be given time. He should serve the heftiest time that he can serve because you know what? That is not self-defense. Let me see. I have the Carmelo Anthony, but why don't we have his name? Protecting him. See, that's a problem. Bans photography in the courtroom. Credential. Okay, Austin Metcalf is the victim in this case, guys. That's the victim in this case, not Carmelo. Austin Metcalf, in my opinion, he did the right thing, and it was not about race. It was not about color that this guy got arrested. It was because he stabbed and killed Austin Metcalf. Period. I don't think anyone's gonna find. I don't think anyone's gonna find that as a self defense. But with what's going on, there can absolutely be a mistrial. All right. It was self defense. He was being, yeah, but Emily Jane, I get provoked all the time, Emily, and I don't stab people. I get provoked a lot. Think of it this way, and I understand where you're coming from, and I'm using you as an example to talk to. Thank you, Austin Metcalf. I always try to put the victim's name so that we're not focusing on the name of like Wade Wilson, Carmelo Anthony, right? It's Austin Metcalf here that's the victim and his family. Carmelo Anthony's just a sideshow, in my opinion, and they're trying to cause a media frenzy so that you can, um, thank you, Tiff, so that you can, so that you could say it's racist. He didn't do anything. This white kid went up to him and started shit, and he was defending himself. Guys, if someone else doesn't have a knife, you don't bring a knife to a fist fight. You don't bring a knife to a gunfight. You fight. All right. If he wanted to fight and he didn't like the fact that he wanted him to move from the bleachers, then let's go to town. I'll knock you out. Let's go. I'll punch you. I'll kick you. We'll fight. But you don't stab somebody. I don't understand where people don't understand that. Hunter even said Austin put his hand. Yeah, but Emily, he could have put his hands on him first. That doesn't account for a knife. Listen, I'm gonna tell you right now, guys. And what's up, Flojo? Wait, was there anything about the white supremacy angle? I felt like, yeah, there is. There's a lot of stuff. I'm not even covering this case yet. And we've got people in the KKK that are backing up Carmelo. I mean, they're not backing Carmelo. They're talking about this and they're using the KKK and racism to sway a jury, in my opinion, for either a mistrial or to get a not guilty. That's my opinion. Now, Emily, let me tell you a quick story, and I'm telling all of you guys this. It was at a school event. I want to tell you something, okay? Look it. Check this out. All right, Emily Jane, and I'm only making an example out of you because I can. All right, I just pulled this out of my pocket. Right, just pulled this out of my pocket. Right, I use this mostly to open boxes, cut stuff, whatever. It stays in my pocket. And if I go to Target right now and someone decides to push me or kick me or hit me or knock me down, I'm not going to pull out my pocket knife. If they don't have a knife, you don't fight with knives. There was not a threat in that. It has to be equal distribution. They weren't jumping him. There's nothing to say that. And so it's not legal. It's not okay. And what I was gonna say, Emily, I grew up or I went to high school in Oakdale. Now, Oakdale is the cowboy capital of the world. Nothing but white folks. As you can tell, I'm not white. On the first 2 weeks of school, uber super white cowgirl from Oakdale came up to me and started a fist fight with me on campus. Now, I was 14, she was 18. I was a freshman, she was a senior. She told me, go hang out with your own kind. I said, I don't even speak Spanish. What are you talking about? So, guess what? She hit me and I knocked the fuck out of her out. Now, did I ever have to fight anybody in high school again? No, because you got this new kid coming from Los Angeles to this school that's all white people. You get this girl coming up to me that's 4 years older than me, trying to knock me out. And guess what? She didn't. It didn't even phase me. I knocked her the hell out. She lost her shoes. We got suspended. You think anyone ever came up to me again? But do you think I'd pull a knife even though she was 4 years older than me? And this is several times that this happened, guys. I want you to realize that. Linda Glover says, yes, you are white to me. What's up, DJ? Good to see you, cheeky. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I've been in lots of fights, and no one cares about. If you don't care about it, Jay Valdez, then get out of here. It doesn't matter if it's an old story. The whole point is you don't bring a knife to a fist fight. and you don't bring a gun to a knife fight. That's my whole point. So I don't see anything that should be racist about this. This is not Chud. This was not Chud that said, hey Carmelo, what do you think about your First and Second Amendment right? And then spouting off the N word. You know what I'm saying? So the whole point is that I don't care if it's an old story or it's not an old story. The whole point is when I was growing up, when I was in high school and beyond, you go to a concert, someone starts a fight with you don't pull out a knife. That's all. Now, we'll see what the defense says. They're bringing race into this. So we're going to see what happens when you start bringing racial things into it and you got one side coming and saying black power and the other side coming and you're talking KKK. It's going to cause either a mistrial or maybe even a not guilty. All right. What's up, Sadie's mama? Big hugs to you. Yeah. Bye bye, Valdez. If you don't want to hear my old stories, then get the fuck out of here because I'm not the channel for you. But point being, I can use my own situation because, guys, it's just not fair. It's just not fair. What's up, DJ? How you doing, buddy? And Mystic, and yeah, it's not an old story because I'm telling you right now, if I was to go into my parking lot and someone punches me and I stab them, I'm going to jail. And if they die, I'm going to get some kind of repercussions unless they had a knife too. All right, it's deeper than that. They're making and that's the problem, Emily. It is deep. They are making an example out of Carmelo, and the people are making an example saying that it is a racial thing. So I understand that race does play a part. I just told you a whole story about racism. I worked at my first job. I went outside. I closed 11 o'clock at night, and I had a note on my window that said "KKK, get the fuck out of here, bitch!" And they slashed all of my tires. Okay, so I understand racism. I do, and I understand what's happened in the Carmelo Anthony case. But you gotta separate the two and you got to take those moments where Carmelo was right there and Austin was there and Austin said, "Please move." You only get to account for those few minutes where you reacted to something or overreacted to something. All right? How long time no see. What's up, Pack? The gunman. What's up, Wolf? Wolf Moon. So I get it. I get what you're saying. I do, but I can't. I've been there and done that. I've been through racism. I've been through fights. I've been through all that, and it doesn't. It just is. He was not. That was a misinformation. Yeah. See, that's the problem, and that's gonna happen. Roles reversed. That's where race is coming in. That needs to stay out of it. That's what I'm saying exactly, Tiff. If roles were reversed, and it is racism still coming into it now. That happens to cause a media frenzy. They do that on purpose. It's being done on purpose. Look at what happened with the GoFundMe. They raised money to hire bodyguards and they started paying their own family. Right? It feels like he was just waiting to do it. Yeah, that's what the Chud thing is. That's what I'm saying. You can't. If I were a judge is only going to isolate the situation that happened leading up to it if it's premeditated and what happened after. They're not going to go back and say in 1905 black people were owned by and the slaves and we and the KK. That's not. They're bringing race into it, and it's going to cause a media frenzy. I still think, regardless, that Carmelo Anthony needs to be convicted, and it wasn't a fair fight. And I'll stick to that. I'm going to stick to that. But yeah, I'm not even covering that case today. The cops had his backpack in the bag they took, used to hold down the tent, covering the body. Yeah, I mean, again, when I'm covering the case, I'll show the facts and we'll isolate what happened, not what's happening in the media. Because what's happening in the media is not that case, and that's not what's on trial. Yeah, there you go. Flojo, what was the reason his bond was reduced from 1 million to 250,000. Also, why did they profit off of this case in the way that they did? They went and bought a new house with the money. They paid themselves for bodyguards. Come on, we got to be a little more even. I'm not trying to be biased for one or more side, but when you start to bring things in and you're weighing the evidence, ah, I think that's a good thing. I think that I will definitely cover that case. Let me make sure I know my facts properly, and then we will do a stream for the Carmelo Anthony case, just because I already covered it before. That being said, I just wanted to pop in for a minute. I don't know that I'm going to be back tomorrow, guys. I might not be back until Thursday, but I didn't want to have to answer everybody individually because I just can't. All right. But I mean, there's a lot of other cases that need to be covered as well. Right. Here's the Rebecca Haro sentence, 12 years and 8 months. Emmanuel Haro, may he get the justice he deserves. Uh, Jay, you have the most amazing mods. Well, thank you, DJ. I appreciate that. And I agree. Yeah, that didn't make sense. Sadie's mama, Panda Ann. What'd Freaky Friday say? What's up, Flojo? Flojo sent a high five. He sent me a gift with a high five. Thanks, my guy. It's funny because a lot of times you'll stream like this. You'll do a vertical, and you've got like a ton of people. It's nice that there's not a ton of people in here just trolling. So yeah, the mods are awesome. Duotron, yeah, you always know when there's trolls because just out of left field crap. The cop that knelt on Floyd's neck trial wasn't on lockdown like this. Our mods are awesome. Yes, they are. All right, guys. So Rebecca Haro was sentenced to 12 years and 8 months. She has to do 85% of that. The charges were significantly reduced for her to take a plea deal. Do you feel like justice was served? I don't. We need to find Emmanuel. But for now, both parents are locked up, and I think the case is closed for right now, guys. So good to see you guys. I'm gonna go. I shouldn't even be at work today. I'm gonna go chill out, hang with the fam, get some groceries, refuel, and I will see you guys back at regular time, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 7 p.m. Eastern, either tomorrow or Thursday. All right, guys. Much love. Thank you guys for the support. Go back and watch my live stream in Vegas if you want to get a good laugh and you want to see Mrs. Guilty and what we do behind the scenes. Oh, brother. Joe, Flojo TV, my wife did. My wife hit the minor jackpot and she funded the trip. Ask Lori, who was with us. Lori from the crime crew rolled up to us. I can't remember what her last name was, but so Lori rolls up to us from the crime crew and just starts hugging me. And she gives my wife a hug, right? Then they sit down next to us, Lori and her husband. My wife won $4,555 and like 16 cents. I was like, babe, stop now, because it was at 4,555. But then she kept going, so we went up and we went down. But she won the minor. We were playing. And you go back to my pictures; it shows you. We were playing Wheel of Fortune, and Lori from the crime crew comes up, starts drinking with us and playing. I'm drinking Kahlua and cream. My wife already was winning $2,000. Then she hit the jackpot for a minor. The minor comes up, and bam, it's almost 5 grand. I'm like, you're funding the trip. And of course, she's like, cool. So yeah, the wifey, she took us to Hell's Kitchen. She took us to Peter Ruger's. We like good food. I legit rather not eat. I'd rather eat ice cream if I'm not going to get good food. So let me show you actually real quick. I will show you. You guys should go check out my page though. Look at Guilty of Crime. I have 2,000 plus videos, guys. I have a huge playlist. And people are asking me to cover the Watts case, but I'm really wondering what you want me to cover on that. Like, what is the deal? All right, check this out. So Look at there's Nate Eaton. He's awesome. There's a few people that I redundantly post just different times. Cody, Slep. You guys were wondering who that is, guys. Yes, that's Slep. He's against Roblox. I guess they're suing him. He's suing them. I don't know. He got kicked out of Roblox. Holly, there's my girl Holly. There's our one of our mods, Holly. That's not her name, but I got to meet her. Guys, I had to get that. You guys know the deal. All right, I had to get that. So I got that. There's the Kahlua we're drinking with Lori from the crime crew. And then check that out. Do you see what that says? 227,803 credits. That equals 4,500. It was 4,555, but then she kept going and wouldn't stop, so it started going up. Anyway, I've never had to call an attendant, and we did. Foxy was there. I don't have all the pictures yet. I can't take pictures of myself, so Synth has my pictures. Oh, there it is. Look at there's the minor. You see the Wheel of Fortune? We were trying to win the obviously this one or this one, but she won the whole 278626 plus whatever other money that was in there, all off of $100 bill. All right, there's Synth. Foxy wasn't there yet. All right, and then look at this. I had to hold on to Joseph Scott Morgan. He was so tall. You should have picked up Burnett out there too. Those are dope, but I don't think they sell them out in Cali. Yeah, that's the thing, Flojo. Yeah, I held on to him. He didn't mind. He's super tall, and he took a selfie. Then I found Annie Elise, and then Synth started helping me take pictures. So look at that. I got to meet Vinny and Tangent. So funny. These guys are dope, Flojo. This one here was fighting over who the most handsome one was, right? Because there's this guy, there's Al, there's Jonesy, and there's Vinny. Vinny obviously wasn't in this picture, but Al was like, "Hey, I'm the best looking one here. You know, we're having a competition. Look at how good I am." It was pretty awesome. Oh my God, this I love this lady. This is Pretty Lies and Alibis, guys. She's awesome and she wants to collaborate, and I want to collaborate with her. Pretty Lies and Alibis. Go sub up to her. All right. There's Dolly and PJ. All right. They were all over the place. I saw them everywhere. Slep, Cody from Court TV. There's Mark Garagos. He's working on the Scott Peterson thing. There's us having a conversation with Vinny and Dolly and PJ. I also got some other interviews. Somebody interviewed me from CrimeCon. It was pretty cool. It should come out, and then we're back to this again. So there's the Vinny picture. We were heading back to the hotel, and he was like 2 ahead of us, getting onto a taxi. And then Hell's Kitchen was bomb. And then you guys normally can't see her, but even though she doesn't like to be filmed, that's the wife. All right. So that being said, guys, I did my due diligence. I said hello to everybody. What's up? How you doing? Love you guys. Thank you guys. Mod support. Hit the like button. Subscribe. Get a membership. And if you can, please hype my channel. Yeah, Vinny is tall, but I'm also very short. Did you see Annie Elise? Annie Elise wasn't much taller than me either. Joseph Scott Morgan's like 6'3" or 6'4". He's tall. Hey, Auntie Ree, good to see you. All right, guys, I'll let you guys out of here. I'm gonna go home and do my thing, get some groceries, and go chill out. Love you guys. I'll see you guys very, very soon, and we will be back to the grind per usual. All right. When I say the grind, back to work. Back to work, my friends. Back to work. Love you guys. All right.